Hello, everyone on Instagram who's going to be listening to this. Hi, everyone on YouTube. So I am going to give it a minute for people to jump on. But what I'm going to be chatting about today is the spirit of our species in a crisis. And obviously, we all know why. I also would like to, I'm going to be sharing the spiritual principles of understanding the things that we're going through. I am. And how to maybe look at this experience and what we're dealing with from a spiritual perspective. Just going to give it a few minutes. I am going to end the session at some point. It won't be very long. I think short and sweet is good right now for everyone, even though we have a lot of time on our hands. So I'm going to talk about some important things or steps you can take to help with the energy of time, fear, all the things that we're dealing with. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to do, like I said, a little meditation at the end. So just as I'm waiting for a couple more to come on that told me they wanted to be live with this, it is recorded. It is going to be put out on my social media. So know that you can find it there. If you're on Instagram, my social media, my YouTube channel is youtube.com/BethLynch444. Just like Insta, pretty easy. And go on over there. There's lots of meditations and other discussions that I have on there as well about other things, but also about the time that we're in. So, basically, I have been helping people deal with grief and for over 20 years, being a medium, one who mediates between what is spirit, what is physical, one who mediates between a higher frequency. And close your eyes and take it in, girl. Okay? All the way to Colorado, I'm sending it. So I know I shouldn't look at the post because it confuses me. But so also what a medium is one who is sensitive to the higher frequencies as well as, like everyone going through lower frequencies. So let's put that in a nutshell right now. High frequency means happier thoughts, lighter thoughts, creative thoughts, intuitive thoughts, peace-filled thoughts, hope-filled thoughts. Lower frequency expression or feelings would be fear, anger. Grief is low, but we have to experience it. And we're experiencing it on a whole nother level right now. And disappointment, why me? Addiction is a frequency. Depression is a consequence of low frequency thoughts that have now hit the subconscious. So I could get into a lot of teaching, which I do have some classes and programs coming. I'm going to be scheduling to jump on as a group and all that good stuff. So, but right now, the intention was to speak on, the spirit of our species right now and in the crisis we're in, the spiritual principles and understanding it. So one of the things that have been said to me a lot is, why would God do this? Why would God do this? Why is this happening? What is the spirit world saying? What can my mother tell me in spirit about this? And this has been building in my work for a few weeks now, a month even maybe, if I want to go further back. And they were eerily quiet, and I have said this before. And that was my answer to this one specific direct question to me in the communication. And communication with spirit, let's get it out, the elephant out of the room, is very natural communication. They hear you, they feel you. They want you to know that they are there for us. They're you yourself. They understand, what we are experiencing in grief. To the utmost, because your loved ones have lost loved ones before they got there. So again, I'm not going to get all caught up in that right now, but obviously that is what I do a lot of, and I will in another program. But so they have been eerily quiet, as I said. So then I started to put out my own thoughts about this and questions. Put it out there, you get your answers, is what I say. The more open you are intuitively and trusting in your own inner voice is how this will download into you. So basically what a channeling is, a downloading of higher frequency energy or spirit. So in the understanding of this, I put it out there and I started to see some things that surprised me. I wasn't really sure I was going to get into this. And I started seeing a lot of, and I know people have very strong views on this, pollution things, and I saw the waters being polluted. I saw air. It was a very fast boom, boom, boom. And then I went and I heard, organisms. So I do not have the science brain. I will always tell you that, but I do understand the spiritual science connection. And so I started to Google a couple of things, organisms, viruses. So I learned about the host and all of that. And it started to make sense to me in my mind that have we as a species created this? Now, one thing I can tell you for sure, it is not a punishment. It is never a punishment with anything we go through. And when you look at life as though, okay, here we are these beings, we are physical, we have evolved technically. This was a quote, I quote this often, but we have not evolved spiritually at the same level. Well, what is the spirit? What does the spirit mean? The spirit is your natural expression. Your spirit is a very high frequency expression of consciousness, thoughts and feelings, nothing else going on in our minds, thought, feeling, thought, hamster wheel, right? So when we think and feel and we evolve and we've gotten to this amazing place of technology in our species, well, we got to understand what spiritual really means. It is an essence of consciousness and an expression. It is where intuition, creativity, communication, emotional coping, compassion, and connection to eternal life or spirit, whatever word you like to use, the higher self, heaven. So when we look at these principles of the spirit, and we see if we are personally where we are with that connection. Do we trust our intuition? Are we doing something creative every day? Are we compassionate toward ourselves first? That's self-love, kindness. You got to reflect on your thoughts if you really want to understand where you are right now, because what you can do right now is that. There are things that are beyond what some of us can physically tap and do. And there are people who are taking over that. The masks, the whole thing of people coming together, people doing things on Zoom, social media, helping. Do something for yourself every day, because this crisis is something that we are going through. And in an interesting way, I feel we have a lot more control over how long we go through this, more than we want to give ourselves that credit, which because then becomes responsibility. But then are you being responsible? Responding to the ability of who you are as a higher being, to bring a discipline or be a disciple of the thoughts that you're having about this. And, I guess when I was, I look a lot, what's one of the biggest fears we have in life? And I know as a medium, one of the biggest fears I see people dealing with is death or someone else dying. And here comes the principle that can be hard as a human. We are energy, we are spirit. Kind of like when the spirit world says to me, oh, everything's going to be okay. If someone says, is everybody going to be okay? Or are they going to be okay? Everybody's going to be okay, no matter what side we're on. They're not expecting us to be, oh, la, 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 that's okay now. But we have to go deep within this source of energy that will support us. It will support us in time of fear, need, crisis. That's what we got. And in some ways, it's all we have right now. There are definitely things that that you can physically do, and that I can talk about in a little bit. But right now, it's about getting back to the spirit of who you are. Because when I titled this, The Spirit of a Species in Crisis, it isn't that the spirit is in crisis. Your spirit is fine. Your spirit sees the bigger picture. Your spirit sees there will be survival of a species. Your spirit knows that there will be death. Your spirit doesn't look at it as an ending. It looks at it like eternal life, a continuation. And sometimes, and I can tell you, even when, I had my own parents pass almost 30 years ago, 27 and 30 years ago, I can't even wrap my mind around that sometimes. That's so crazy how long ago. But I still feel their spirit. And that's what I do, is help people see that. We got to get back to the spirit of who we are to get through this crisis. Personally, professionally, for our homes, for our children. We can't jump ahead too far sometimes. And I'm thinking of the things, I'm thinking, well, if this goes on 3 months or 4 months, okay, I'm going to have to evaluate some things a little differently than I'm doing right now. But right now, we got to take it day by day. We really do. Do what you can each day. I'm not saying don't look ahead, but I'm saying when you look ahead, don't look ahead in fear, because fear creates anger. And if you want to see any of that, just go on some social media platforms and watch how mean people can be over a post. And I haven't done anything recently that anyone got mad at, even though I've been known to do that. Bring in something they don't want to hear. But there's a lot of anger. And, I was listening to Lisa Ling on watching a tweet of hers on Twitter, and it was heartbreaking. And she was posting about, the Asian community having to be in fear because there are some really crazy people thinking, okay, be mean to them, do something to them, hurt them. Oh, it's 11:11 right now. Everybody take a breath. And just put this beautiful light through you from your own heart. Through you and around you, above and below. We just send this light out. Send it to your home. Send it to your communities. Send it around Mother Earth. A beautiful light. Slow your breath. Just think the word peace a few times. And open your eyes when you're ready. Well, I'm glad I noticed it was 11:11. 11 is a powerful alignment of numbers, of shift in consciousness, or aligning yourself more to your higher nature, spiritual nature. So we're all kind of being forced to do this to survive in this crisis, I would say. So I was, speaking on death, and as one who does communicate every single day for people, I see death every day, and the feelings and emotions that come with it. And the guidance that I've been sharing, and I've had to share with myself, and I share for others, is we have to look at this right now. Death is not the ending, but is a continuation of our own consciousness. Whether you believe it to be traditional heaven or a higher frequency expression into the universe, it really doesn't matter what you believe, in which way, but believe in something right now because it can help you and support you. It is around us, and we're bombarded on the news. We're seeing makeshift morgues. We're seeing crazy stuff that is just, supporting this fear and this anger. And there are people, and I imagine if you're watching this, you're probably not one of those people that want to go out and, hurt another human being because of what is going on and because of their nationality. You're not that person, okay? Because you probably wouldn't want to hear this. And yet you're still someone who is an expression of consciousness, who has a spirit, who is just so not in touch with who they are. Not in touch. And that's not always a bad thing, because there are many reasons people lose touch. There are many reasons people lose touch. And I don't really want to get into that right now, but there are. And we have to just maybe put the awareness into, let's get back in touch with my spirit so it can support my strength. Your spirit will be your intuition. It will guide you. It will direct you, maybe even some creativity and creative ideas for yourself, for your family, for your kids if you're homeschooling now. For, getting together. I know, people, one of my friends threw a little Zoom birthday party for a girlfriend. I'm seeing there's a lot of ways to stay connected. When people reach out to me and say this isolation is giving them more anxiety, I said, well, you're letting it give you more anxiety. You have to be able to go within. You have to be able to bring your inner, you're being forced to face who you truly are right now and see your strength maybe of who you are, because it's in there. It's in there. So when you say you're getting anxiety because of your isolation, no, you're getting anxiety because of your fear of not being able to come out of isolation. You will be able to. This will end. And no, I don't know when, and I wish I did. Maybe I don't know. But like I said a moment ago, Maybe we have more control over this than we think. You know, maybe we have a lot more control over, we definitely have control, or we can be disciplined or become a disciple of how we respond emotionally day to day. And I even say, you know, maybe hour to hour, and for some people, minute to minute. You know, be aware of your thoughts. Stop and take a slow breath. Breath is very powerful. It sends a signal into the nervous system, 30 seconds to 3 minutes of conscious breathing, slowing it down. That sends a signal to your nervous system. That is how you're going to bring discipline or control, if you prefer that word, to your anxiety or your depression. Don't give this crisis permission to drop you lower if you're dealing with that already. Maybe take a breath and say, okay, I'm going to become a disciple of my thoughts and feelings. I'm going to discipline them and direct them in the way I want them. I choose. I choose better. I choose, you know, peace. I choose happiness. I choose wisdom. Let that be your word. I choose. Probably going to see that now in my social media. I choose. Because if you choose it, it's going to manifest. You know that great law of attraction that everyone loves to talk about? Well, guess what? It's working no matter what way you're thinking. And if you're going to think in low frequency thoughts or fear or anger, you're going to act in that way. There's no way around it. That's the law. That's how we function. So I really just want, I think, this talk to be about understanding that, you know, this experience that we are all in, we are definitely being forced to face who we are as a spiritual being, each and every one of us. And when you understand the spirit, being your intuitive nature, your creative nature, your compassionate nature, your coping skills emotionally, and your connector to eternal life, it's going to go across the board. It's going to touch every single aspect of your life. And I've had to, you know, pull in and say, okay, 3-4 months from now, no, I'm not going to go there right now. Take moments, you know, when you think of the physical. And another big fear, let's talk about this, the other big fear. One is death and one is money. That's what a lot of people are asking about. What if my money runs out? Well, what if mine runs out? I mean, you know, I got to be realistic. But, and it's not funny, but sometimes we got to laugh at ourselves. Okay, just a little bit. Take a breath. I'm not going to go feed that scenario right now. And if that's me living in la, 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 well, then I'm going to live in la, la, la while I can. And when I get closer and those things if they had to be faced, one thing's important to know, how you deal with it now that may not even happen does not just leave your body, your cells, you're reacting from that space. You're teaching your children to be afraid. Someone reached out and said, my 6-year-old's having anxiety because of this virus. I said, no, your 6-year-old's having anxiety because you are having anxiety and meltdowns. And she goes, oh my God, I just had a meltdown like yesterday and couldn't believe, you know, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Have a meltdown, but maybe go in your room and have your meltdown alone, not in front of your 6-year-old who's sitting there just processing all of this emotionally. They don't know what to do with it logically yet. And that's a big window of time there. Maybe anywhere from your newborn in your arms to your maybe a 12-year-old, where maybe then you can have maybe a logical conversation. I'm not saying I'm parent of the year by any means, but we have to believe that our children suck this energy in. You know, your 6-year-old is having anxiety because you are having anxiety. And anxiety is an emotional expression based in low frequency, fear and anger. Anger is sadness in lower frequency. Learn your energy system. I'm telling you, it will change your life. I know there's a few of you on there that get that. And do something every day. I know there's so many of us, myself, other teachers, doing meditation, doing yoga, Thank you, all my yoga teachers, because you've kept me so disciplined on this, and it has definitely, I feel the difference. And I'll never, usually I was once a week or a couple times a month. Really, no, something every day. But that's me, not telling you the world that you have to go do yoga, okay? But meditative moments, creative moments, something. There's so many ways. I've been cooking more than I could ever imagine. And I'm getting a little creative at it. And it's kind of funny because I'm like, this is kind of nice. I'm actually able to be home and prepare some meals and eating healthier. If you're saying you're going to the fridge every 5 minutes and eating something because of the crisis, no, it's not because of the crisis. It's a choice you're making. I know that hurts sometimes, but it's true. And put things in there that are going to be healthier. Oh, I would love recipes. Simple. And air fryer, I doubt you use an air fryer. There's a beautiful, wonderful chef online right now. And that could be a creative idea for you. Recipe for a week. Give everyone the recipe. Go live on Facebook or Insta. There you go. I just gave you a creative idea. Yeah, heaven's watching. Creativity is very important at this time. Raises frequency, brings you into that higher vibration where you can emotionally balance and, go in. So please remember that. That's why creativity is so important. These are all things coming from your spirit. Your spirit is not in crisis. Your personality is, your human expression is. Stay away from the news every once in a while. You can turn on the news once a day and get your fill. Take breaks from social media. Definitely. Here we are on social media. But maybe time yourself. Don't just sit there on it and scroll and scroll. I know it's easy to do. I've done it. Just to look around, see what's going on. But you don't always feel good after that. Take meditative times, meditative moments. Now, can I share more than I share? Because I don't know if it's possible. I have some, all on my Inner Light teaching page. I'm always posting on my social media, 5-minute meditations, 7-minute meditations. If you can't open them or you're afraid because it's Dropbox, trust me, there's nothing to be afraid of if it's coming from mine. It's all, checked, and I am looking for another way to send without having to go through that extra step with the file page. So anyways, take these mindful moments. Slow your breath every once in a while. Teach your kids, not teach, do it with them. Guide them to it. Let's slow our breath. Let's imagine something. Take them on a journey. Donald's journey. My little meditation. I'm always sharing the MP3 file. It's great for kids, and you can start doing it from conception to about 12 years old. And there's a book to it. I know she's on there because I saw her, who illustrated it. Does it with her little boy now, and that was what? We have to be talking 19 years ago? That's pretty crazy, isn't it? So it's out there. Take these opportunities. Take this time to be able to trust in yourself and your spirit and your intuition to guide you. Do the things that you need to physically. If you need to make phone calls to your financial institutions, your, the credit, you might have to do these things. All of us may have to face, that. Look, this is where we're at. Take a breath. Take a breath throughout the day. Stop. So at this time, I would like to guide us into meditation. Just to kind of, I liked our little 11:11, but I really want to do something a little bit more. We're going to do a little fear release meditation. So I think that would be appropriate for right now. So if you can't close your eyes, just find a place to gaze at. I do not own the rights to this music, but I would like the background music in. So if you can't close your eyes, you have found a place to gaze at. If you close your eyes, just Wherever you're at, just start taking these slow breaths. Just conscious breathing. Slow it down a little more, in through the nose and out through the mouth if you can. Do not force the air out. Just let the jaw area relax, facial muscles. In through the nose. And now just relax the muscles around the eyes, forehead, and temples. Awareness of your breath. Bring your awareness to your crown and just imagine if you place a hat very gently on or a scarf very gently on, just all that area starts to relax. Slow the breath wherever you're at. And now down through the muscles of the face, once again, the jawline, relaxing these muscles. Over your shoulders. You relax the muscles over your shoulders and down through your arms, hands and fingers. Into your fingertips and into the lines of your fingerprints where they start to relax. They blur. They disappear. And now just bring your awareness down to the lower belly area. We hold a lot of energy here. It's our emotional doorway. We're going to give all the muscles of the lower belly permission to relax, lower back, all the cells and systems. Let's make the next 3 breaths a little bit deeper, letting that lower belly expand and fall naturally down, contracting. Now I just want you to imagine that there is an inner light in your heart. And this light begins to fill the heart center with a beautiful glow. This glow of light and energy will flow through you and around you, above and below. And as you are held in this light, we're going to give permission now for any and all fears, unknowns, confusions, doubts to be released. And I want you just to imagine balloons. Balloons are coming right from your heart and out, just floating. You might see them, feel, or just know. It's these balloons, just like a child in awe, balloons in the sky, leaving your heart. These balloons go through the clouds, over the mountains, and into the starry sky. Make the next inhale and exhale a little bit deeper. And as those balloons go up in the starry sky, and if there's any extra, let them go. Take a couple deep breaths. If they enter that starry sky, they become just a speck of color. And then they are gone. It is only the starry sky. You gazing at a beautiful starry sky. We send out our wish, our intention, to one of the most brightest stars there is. That star show you it's there. See, feel, or know. And we just make this intention that we reach our own divine highest potential as a human being, that we connect to our own spirit and allow our spirit to share and download into us intuitively, creatively, bringing compassion, communication, and our connection to all that is eternal. And we let that light download right into our heart like a ray of light from that star into our own hearts, above and below. And we will walk with this each day, each hour, and at times each minute, just being aware, slowing our breath, connecting to the spirit, the most powerful essence of who we are. And think quietly, I as you inhale, am as you exhale. And now just bring your breath a little bit stronger, up over your shoulders, down through your arms, into your hands, fingers, and fingertips, to the lines of your fingerprints. As you let your physical senses adjust back. Just be aware of how you feel from when you began. Thoughts have slowed down. Maybe you haven't thought about the situation we are all in for a few moments. You actually allowed your mind to move away from the low frequency emotions connected to it. Those little moments, those little mindful moments are going to add up, and they're going to support you because you're connecting into your higher frequency. You're connecting into your spirit of who you are. And our spirit can deal with this, can survive this, and will help us come out the other side of it as stronger human beings. So every day, make that connection. And every hour on the hour, maybe stop and just do it. There's nothing wrong with that. No wrong in spirit. I hope today just brought you some perspective of how to look at the spiritual understanding of this crisis, and just take the ideas, the thoughts, and, just do it. I guess that's what to say. Yes, is she snoring? Because look him. I'm going to show you my little pup start who's been snoring. Am I doing it right? That's Lola. She's been snoring. Yep. I wondered if you could hear her. Sometimes I don't let her in the room for that reason. Oh, she's out like a light, because animals love to meditate too, by the way. Did you notice? Now she's quiet. But anyways, thank you all for joining me. And I hope it brought you some insight. I am going to post it on my social media. So go ahead if you did just jump in or jumped in late. There was a couple meditations. That's good. And, we stopped at the 11:11, made an intention when I realized it was 11:11. Oh, everyone just loves Lola. Love you too, Em. Thank you so much. I'll be on again, I'm sure, over the weekend. I'm going to post a couple classes that are going to be going on, intuitive awareness classes, Good, very good. Every day, every hour. I'm telling you. Um, so I'll be posting some things coming up, and I look forward to you hopefully joining me. And just let's go from there. Let's come from our spirit. Your spirit supports you. Thanks, Em, for showing Juju-licious. I love that. Juju. I hope I'm saying it right. That's cute. Thanks, everyone. Peace.